Alright, well, it's been a while since I made a second video. I made a video of the bus ride to Prime, and that's about it. Let's just say the bus ride was very interesting. If you end up coming here by bus and you're pretty far away, prepare to change a lot of buses and stay on your toes. You have to keep track of a lot going on. Second thing, prepare to be late if you take a bus. There's a good possibility you might get here definitely not on time. I took a bus all the way from South Carolina. We got to St. Louis on time the whole way. St. Louis, I said, shit, only 3 hours to Springfield. Well, guess what? That bus driver was a fucking idiot. We didn't get out of St. Louis. We left on time. Did not get out of the city of St. Louis for about 2 hours. Hour to 2 hours, somewhere around in there. I was so pissed off I couldn't even pay attention, so I don't know where the time flew, that's for sure. Basically missed the first stop and in the airport in St. Louis, went around circles. No one knew where the hell he was going. No one spoke up. Finally, someone said something, and apparently he already still knew where he was going. It was really a pain in the ass. Anyway, he finally picked somebody up at the airport, and basically there were only 3 little stops, and he fucked them all up. So we were supposed to get in at 10:30 at night, and we didn't get in until about 1:30 in the morning. Then when you get in, you have to, if it's off hours, you got to call Prime and they'll come pick you up. That took a little bit, of course, even though they're around the corner. But there was a lot of us, so they had to get a shuttle and come over here and pick us up. So we finally get to Prime, and you first walk into the hotel. It's a nice little hotel. I don't know why there's so many people bitching about it. It's just like you're in any day, Motel 6 kind of thing. Decent. It's free. You can't complain about it. They're treating you. But when you first get in, you'll see the security guy at the desk. He's going to give you a pamphlet. If you get in early and everything, try to fill out the pamphlet as quick as you can. It's going to have a lot of information in there. Another thing it's going to ask you about speeding, traffic violations, anything for about 5 to 10 years. Same thing with your criminal convictions, no matter how little they were, misdemeanors. If you pissed in a corner somewhere and a cop saw you and wrote you a ticket or whatever, anything, even your felonies too. There was a guy here who had a felony from 20 years ago, decided not to say anything about it, and they told him to go home. If he would have just said something about it, they said they would have kept him. Something like that. It's 20 years old. They didn't care. As long as you tell them, they're fine. So I guess I'm just going to go in order with the last 2 days, how they went. First, you're going to come in on the bus, sign in, everything, get your pamphlet. They're going to give you your key to your room. They're going to assign you with 2 people unless you want to pay to upgrade. They're going to go by smoking and non-smoking. You're going to get a room, go there, put all your stuff away, get all situated. My advice is fill out the pamphlet as much as you can. The next day, most likely you'll come in on Monday, and Tuesday's when they start. Tuesday, the next day, go into orientation in the morning, be there 7 o'clock sharp. They'll give you a wake-up call on the phone in the room. It'll ring. It's very annoying. And if you just pick it up and put it down, 10 minutes later it'll ring again. So, you gotta, either pick it up for at least, I think, like a couple seconds and, listen to at least when the voice comes on. And get up, get ready. Try to dress pretty appropriately, don't look like a, scuzzball. Like, it's pretty much like an interview, Please try to look okay. No, you don't have to wear a suit or anything, but, look like you give a shit, pretty much. Go in there. First thing you're going to do is they're going to go over the paperwork with you a little bit. So they're going to introduce this prime security to you. It's going to go for a little orientation, at least an hour. Then they're going to have you give you a fingerprint card. They have to fingerprint you because they haul mail and other high value things, which like any other company transportation world does. They're going to fingerprint you. That's all going to get sent out and everything. After that, they're basically going to tell you how the rest of the day is going to go. There's basically 3 major things you're going to have to do on your first day. One's piss test. The next thing is your physical. And you're going to get interviewed by Prime Security. That's when they go over your paperwork and check it with what's on file. And it better match, or you should at least come close to matching. Tell them as much as you can. Like I had a few things that I didn't think would show up. My work used to check my background every 6 months because, we motor vehicle, we did the piss test and everything else, randoms, and they never had a problem with anything that was on my record. I assumed they checked it and, or it was not there, one or the other. But I came, I told them about U-turn. I got a U-turn ticket, no points, no nothing, paid the fine. I told them about that. Told them about a speeding ticket. I even told them about a speeding ticket I got probably about 15 years ago. Just tell them. They're going to have you fill out a separate form when you get it. Well, when you get your pamphlet and everything, there's when you go through orientation, you're going to have just papers that are kind of like, they'll ask you about, it's basically what's the times, dates, where that happened, what was the outcome, what you plead, and everything like that. Fill them out. So when you go in there and interview, pretty much just depend on who interview, I wouldn't say interview, but whoever checks your background, you're going to look at the screen, look at your paper, and say, ask you about something. Me, I had a misdemeanor. He asked me why was it only $20-some or $30-some or something. That's because it really wasn't a misdemeanor. It was a big blowout. Long story behind it, pesky neighbor, someone's a lawyer, made a big deal about it, came to court because, the cop even said plead not guilty and she probably won't show up. Well, of course she showed up, so they had to basically do something, and it would have been a motor vehicle violation, and I told him I was a driver. I'm not a CDL driver, but I was, I had a DOT card and everything, and, they said that they would, charge me with something else, and it wouldn't be on there, so, pretty much they gave me disorderly conduct, and I paid like a $20 or $30 fine. But, just tell them about everything. Prime will, stick by you as long as you, unless it's, of course, it'd be like a match and shot someone or rob someone, like gunpoint. I don't know how well they would take that, but, because they actually said they'll even go into your juvenile history. It's like, because it's like an FBI profile, they said, or something like that. But basically, from then, you get your piss test, you get your physical, typical, just like you're gonna have to get a DOT card, so they're gonna, do the same thing except for the piss test. Yeah, no big deal. So after your first day, as long as you didn't only have 2 hours of sleep, you probably went to that and were okay, and had a normal first day. But it was, I was like 4 days behind, if you want to call it like that, something like that, just with the lack of sleep and all the bullshit from the bus ride. But also, if you can finish all that by 3 or 4 o'clock in the first day, you'll get to do simulations. Sitting pretty much, 3 screens, simulator truck, start off the basics if you never drove, upshifting, downshifting, they can throw rain and anything at you, it's just basically to, they aren't really scoring you, but it's basically just to get you used to, driving a big rig. They also have, computer training you have to finish on the computer. It shows you a short video. You have to answer some questions and answer them. Sexual harassment. There's some insurance stuff. There's a video on how to use the electronic logbooks. Typical. Getting hired. Sexual harassment on there. How to prevent rollovers. How to protect your loads. any of the good stuff. Really rigorous training program. You got to keep pace with it. You're pretty much here to learn. If you're trying to do anything else, you're pretty much wasting your time. No alcohol, no bullshit, no going over to titty bar across the street or anything. They can't show you your titties anyway, so they have to put nipple rings on or something, or nipple covers. But pretty much just fly straight and narrow. If you pay attention, you'll learn a lot here. It's a great program. They don't just throw you in a driver's seat and say, "Hey, have fun." When you screw up, like you're fired. Second day, which I'm on now. After nice long sleep, get up, call, go and take, get dressed, go walk over there. If you're a non-smoker, you got a little bit of a walk to the training center, which is out in the front. It's a good walk. Get out there. They pay for your lunch, your breakfast, to a certain point, but you have to be really, really hungry to go over the amount they give you. It's good food. Home cooking, nothing crazy, but you'll get up. If you have your CDL already, or your CDL permit, I should say, or your CDL, I guess. 8 o'clock, you go to the next class. They pretty much go over pre-trip and everything. Unfortunately, it started thunderstorming real bad, so we didn't go out in the parking lot and basically practice pre-trip. Because they had a couple instructors in the class. Because the instructors, at that point, there's some of them that are training instructors, drivers. That sit in the same class as you and go out, and learn the basics on, what's the best way to train you. Basically, so they were asked to bring their trucks around, and then a thunderstorm hit, and that was the end of that. So no pre-trip, no brake test for the day. So I just finished up some more, sexual harassment quiz and everything like that, and I'm gonna end up doing simulations here in a little bit, probably finishing up the rest of them. Eventually, they will test you, I guess, at some point. I'm not 100% sure, like on simulations. It's pretty much kind of controlled chaos. Everything's kind of scheduled, but any little bit of diversion from it can happen real easy. Too many, if there's more trainees, thunderstorm, can't do a pre-trip outside, anything like that. It can divert from that. So it's only day 2, and I've learned, some. Before I came here, I looked up as much about CDL permits, driving, testing, how to back up, and everything else. Ship. If you're going to do it, you might as well, not come here, asking questions. You might as well come here with your permit too. I would suggest 100% getting your permit. Make your life a lot easier, a lot stress-free. Some people that came without their permit are totally clueless. Didn't look like they just called up Prime like, hey, I want to be a driver, and didn't do anything to even think about getting here. They will teach you, but it's up to you to pick it up real fast. If you come here totally clueless and bug-eyed, it's not suggested. You would have to make a big effort to know what you can and cannot do and everything. But you will learn. You should at least try to learn something before you come here. At least if this is really what you're thinking about doing or might want to do, at least try to YouTube it a few times. Other than that, really don't have much else to say. I guess I could show you the room, which has been shown before in a few other videos, but we got 2 beds and decent room and everything, as you can see. And as one video, they're still doing construction outside, finishing up. They're gonna get rid of the pool there soon, but the actual training is on the other side of that building, so you got a good, I don't know, 500,000 foot walk, to go. But it's not that bad. It's just a walk, and other than that, I'm basically done for today unless I go do simulation driving. So, if you want to know anything else, just put, small comments down at the bottom. Please no paragraphs. And if you see anybody else that has the same question and I made a video about it already, just look at a video. But basically I made the video because there were a lot of questions that some people didn't answer already, and a lot of people, when they get here, they just quit making videos, which I can see why. It's fast paced. You came here to learn, and that's pretty much what they expect of you to, learn. Don't go out and fuck around, till next time, I'll probably read your comments and make a video to answer some of your questions. So, see you later, YouTube.